that.
Every voice, every dream, we light the way with words of power, hearts arise. The art of encouragement shines. So leaning close, the journey starts. A moment of truth, a shifting heart. Together we rise, together we stand. With courage and love, we change the land. Bringing hope, inspiring change. Every voice, every dream, we light the way with words of power.
Well, hello, guys. How's it going? Mark, how's your week been, bud?
It's been it's filled with adventure that I'm still trying to process. That's how it's going. And I think a lot of people can relate. The life is one endless adventure.
Oh, it absolutely is. And speaking of adventure, we've got my good friend Danny LaLonde here with us today. What's up, Danny?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Well, we're
Welcome.
doing
Welcome to
very
the show.
well.
Yeah.
I'm
Hey,
glad
to
to.
introduce yourself, Danny, if you could, um, one sentence of who you are and one emoji, what would that be?
Um, I'm not really good with emojis, so probably one that's happy and having a thrilling time, having fun. A
Okay,
happy, whatever the happy one is. Maybe with the cool sunglasses on, maybe out in the sun
okay, I
somewhere,
can see that.
right?
Yeah. So, Mark, what's the weather like in your neck of the woods?
It's summertime. Summertime. Oh, and you asked me earlier, what have I been doing this week? So I have been experimenting with some summer foods, um, with some vegetable soups and vegetable salads, all those stuff. And so I'm excited about that because I always like to cook for for me and for my family, and so it's great.
It's awesome. Um, every week, like we were saying, so many things can happen in just one week. Our lives can literally change. Um, Danny, I know you've had a lot of changes in your life. Mark, you and I were just talking. You've had a lot of changes in yours, even. Do some of those changes that happen come internally first? And then we experience them? Or do you think sometimes those changes come and then we have to learn how to process them?
I give it to our guest.
Um, well, that's a good question. So it could probably happen both ways. Probably the most meaningful changes occur when you're forced to be in a situation that maybe you didn't want to be in, or you're thrust into something new that's uncomfortable, and then you have to do some changing in your mind maybe you didn't realize you had to do, so you can get through whatever the said situation is. And so that could be both ways, actually.
Okay. Mark, what do you think?
Um, I think every person is navigator of their life. So what that means is you navigate your life. Sometimes you sleep at the wheel. Sometimes you have that map and you look and you do everything right. And sometimes you're in the middle. And I think as a person who takes responsibility for their life, you have to make choices and also accept the consequences of those choices as you navigate your life. So I think for me, it comes from internally choices that I make. And when external comes, you just hold on to the wheel and do the best you can.
That's it. And for those of you who are feeling like that today, that hey, I'm having to, hold on with all I've got and keep holding on. That's at the end of the day, keep holding on, because you know we need you. We don't need a made up version of you. We need you. And as we want to lift others up, that's one of the websites that Mark and I have is buildothersup.com. As we seek to make that an environment where people can come and be themselves and just get encouragement, make sure you're going there, make sure you're participating. And if we can join you on your journey, we want to do that. Just today, we talked with someone that is going to be using our services of encouragement for, guess what, engaging with the TED community, giving their TED talk. And I'm so excited for that just entire journey. But Mark, as you've seen others and as I've coached others for that stage, what's one characteristic that you see in each of those people, um, that are about to go on that voyage?
Whew, what a great question. How much time do we have?
We've got some time.
It's big part of our journey together have started on a TEDx, right? For your TEDx, and also my TEDx. I think it's almost 8 years ago when it was first released, and then I became a coach and a TEDx speech writer and a part of the organizing team, and then again as a TEDx coach. Everyone who wants to get on the have a chance, not get, but have a chance to be a TEDx speaker has an idea. And that idea is, it wakes them up in the middle of the night and say, hey, when are you going to release me? Hey, why don't you say it to the world? Or that idea I feel like some people are so driven by this idea and they believe in this idea is that this idea will make a change in the world and they believe it sincerely. The problem that we see is lack of clarity. How to compress this idea in such a way that is acceptable for others to say, hey, tell me more. Tell me more about it. Because a lot of times we can ramble or we can miss very important things, whether in our pitch application submission for the TEDx or even in the TEDx. So you have an idea, but there's a lack of clarity and there's overwhelm and big doubts because you think, well, I should be this expert or I should have done this or that. The truth is, it's your idea, your experience with it that qualifies you.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, that's where you are able to change the world now after we've given our talks. Our story doesn't end. I'm still finding innovative ways to engage people with music. With you, your your story was so inspirational, and the way it calls for people to find their voice. I think with Danny in particular now, he's at such a juxtaposition in his journey, and for him to be able to go out, be deeply planted, and to really find, that meaningful life that's not built around anything but what is good. That's with having the right people around you and the right support available. It's possible for anybody to do what they're wanting to do, whether Danny's wanting to change his life, whether our other friends wanting to give his TEDx talk, whether you're wanting to get out there and make your dreams a possibility. It takes encouragement. That's the missing link. And we're we're here to do just that, to encourage you. Um, and I'm
And
so glad to be on this journey with you, Mark.
yeah,
Our journey did evolve majorly around my TEDx talk.
it
Um,
did. I remember those meetings. I remember our first
oh my
conversation,
word!
the
How did you put
follow-up
up with
conversation.
me?
It goes both ways. How did you put up with me? So that's what it's about. But yeah, but it's the result, right? We're focused. Yeah, there's a journey, and then there's the result. And you said something very poignant. Encourage others to share, because if you don't um, take that position of vulnerability, if you don't risk rejection, if you don't risk being left off the stage or not getting accepted the first time around, nobody will hear about your idea. You have to take a chance, okay, this idea deserves to be heard. And we, as experienced coaches and uh, part of the TEDx community, say yes. Encourage. We're going to encourage you to do it. We're going to help you get clarity on this idea and make it compelling, so it can go viral or it reaches the right people. But yeah, just because you have an idea, you may not get the opportunity. There is a strategy. There is a way to um, prime it and to package it in a way that people want to hear it from you.
That's it. And many people, they go and they see these other commercials out there where the where what you're going to get is a template. You're going to get a template. You're going to pay thousands and thousands of dollars, and you're going to end up with a cookie cutter template that was able to work for them. What we do is we research you. We research your industry, the best ways to communicate your message. And that's something that no one else is doing, is that customized, this is yours type research and implementation to execution. And I'm
Yeah,
so glad that we're able to do that, because AI is wonderful. I absolutely love using AI, but until your message reaches home without AI strategies and that sort of thing, you're you're simply just touting an AI manuscript, and we're not going to have that happening with any of our speakers that we're coaching.
yeah, and the other thing, what is attractive for people to work with us is, like you said, it's not a template. It's helping you, because it can be frustrating. It can be frustrating because the TEDx acceptance ratio is between 6 to 8%. So that means 90 people, 95 people out of 100 will get a no. And it can be disheartening. And you're thinking, I'm doing
Yes.
everything right. I think my idea is brilliant. Why are the organizers not respecting my idea? Why are they not jumping? Why are they not calling me? And rejection, rejection, rejection. So um, the rejection is also part of the process. So you
It
need to give
is.
yourself time and grace and understand that sometimes you need to make all those steps so you can reach over here, connect the dots, and then that's your journey. So it can be disheartening because it takes time and it may not be immediate. But I believe that our brain has such capacity to connect things in a way that our AI cannot yet. So that's great. So that's why that's where we come in as well. So yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, I had a question for us. I encourage our folks online that are watching to join in with it today. If you really knew me, you'd know. And I think for all three of us, this could kind of be a cool exercise. So, uh, Mark, do you want to go first on this? If you really knew me, you'd know.
You know, to look beyond the surface, um, look beyond what you see, and give your creativity and imagination a chance to leap. So if you really knew me, you would not just see what I do, what I say, but you would see a bigger internal world.
Yes. Let's see here. I'm trying to get us over here.
So go ahead. Somebody else finish the sentence. Oh yes, yes, there you
Yeah.
are.
Um, if you really knew me, you know that I really I have a desire to see other people that have had the similar issues to rise above it. So if you really knew me, you'd know that I have a heart to help um, people that have been in rough situations.
That's awesome. And for me today, if you really knew me, you'd know that I really believe that anyone can change. That from the depths of the bottom of my heart, that there are people all around us that just need that little push, that little urge, that little nudge to go beyond where they are right now and to have a completely different life experience, believing in themselves and believing in the world around them. We've got to not give up on each other. We've got to believe in one another, and we've got to celebrate when things are going awesome. Danny, I'm so proud of you. The first time you were out of prison, there were so many obstacles you faced, just within days of your release. And here we are, weeks and weeks and weeks now later.
Yeah,
None of those issues have surfaced, and you're knocking it out of the park. I'm so proud of you. And even he's been helping me with things that I needed to ship up on and shape up on. So it's I'm so thankful that you're okay and that you were able to join us today, bud. It's been a
yeah,
pleasure having you here.
yeah, me too. I really appreciate it. I just had one thing that stuck with me that I had read earlier. I wanted to share that encouragement isn't just a kind word; it's fuel for somebody else's potential, and I think that was really cool. So it's more than just a kind word to make you feel good. You should want to say it not only because it feels good to say things nice to people, but you should also want to say it to put a spark in them. So maybe they really needed to hear something that day and you just didn't know it. And I know I've been in that position a bunch of times, so you just never know.
I can remember being in that prison and and having exactly that happen because of you, Danny, and you encouraging me and helping me when I felt completely alone. I was dealing with having just had gallbladder surgery, and you helped me. He carried all my stuff for me because I just had this surgery, and he carried all my belongings. So, um, I remember that here, what 7 8 years later, because it
It's
meant
been a
the world
while,
to me.
and we
So
always got to be there to help somebody else. So
that's it.
one day you may need the help, and that's what you want to do. You always want to have a hand out to help somebody up.
That's it. Well, thank you so much for being here today. And Mark, do you have any closing words for us today?
I do have one. It's a pleasure to see you, Danny, here, and Nick, of course.
Same.
One, Mhm. One thing that has come up for me this week is this. Um, Despite my protest and despite my kicking and screaming and my and my displeasure of hearing of hearing tough feedback from someone, maybe it's hurtful, maybe it's designed to to do some poking around, but we need to hear that tough feedback for once in a while. The feedback that curls our toes, that makes us uncomfortable and wants to throw a book at someone. Gently, or a
Right.
pillow. if you want. So we need that tough feedback. We may have voiced our displeasure in the moment, but once we let go of the ego, we can see it as a gift. And that gift can help us with finances, can help us personally, relationships. It's somebody is coming up and say, hey, this is your blind spot, and I don't really know how to give feedback, so I'm doing the best I can. Okay, so take it. Because not everyone can give good feedback in a way that you're like, oh, thank you. No, no, it's tough. It's, people have no skills in it, and that's okay. It's not what they trained to do, but take it as a gift. Ride the, displeasure, but then say, ooh, this is treasure. This is amazing. Thank you.
I like it.
Right.
It is a treasure. That's as we go our separate ways today. It's a treasure to, you know, to have those different ways of being and to find those surprises of love, of light.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to see you smiling and giggling there, Mr. Mark Guy. I have a feeling there's more to this, and I look forward to getting more information off screen. So we will see you soon, okay? We'll see you all next week for the Art of Encouragement.
All right. Bye, guys.